New Julfa is located on the southern bank of the Zayande-Rud or Zayande River in the province of Isfahan in Iran. The way that Armenians ended up in New Julfa goes back to the 17th century. So in the early part of the 17th century, between about 1604 to 1605, the Safavid Shah, Abbas, deported hundreds of thousands of Armenians from what was called Jura in the current Azerbaijan in the Nakhichevan province. Basically forcibly migrated them into Iran. Some of them settled in Tabriz. Some of them did not even make the voyage because it was so difficult. Many died. But he took the mercantile population of Jura, which is now Old Julfa, took them into Isfahan, his capital, because they were very significant merchants in the early modern period. And the place that they occupied, given to them by Shah Abbas, became known as New Julfa in memory of their place of origin. New Julfans were primarily known for their role as silk merchants. They monopolized the silk trade for much of the early modern period, but they also dabbled in other things, gems, diamonds, and so forth, but also textiles. And they had an extensive commercial network that went from London, Amsterdam, Cadiz, all the way to Manila. So New Julfan women's lives and roles in society were very much dictated by the absence of their husbands. Their husbands, as merchants, traveled for long periods of time all over the world. They were gone sometimes for months, years, and even decades. And New Julfa was left with a lot of women without husbands around. In the 17th and 18th centuries, it took months sometimes for letters to go back and forth. So it was essential for women to have the knowledge and the ability to actually deal with the financial issues at home, because they couldn't rely on someone. They couldn't rely on their husbands. They couldn't write, so what should I do? Somebody's coming here to collect money, or somebody owes us money. They sold and bought property. They left wills. They inherited. They made claims to wills if they thought that they were being cheated. They collected on debts owed to their husbands or to the family. They loaned money. They had knowledge of complex financial transactions. And we see this even with women who are illiterate, but use priests, for example, to write their letters back and forth, discussing credit and other kinds of complex financial transactions. All of this basically means that they had a lot of money to work with, sometimes in the millions by today's standard. And in that time, women became head of households. They took on the roles and functions that were traditionally meant for men. And in that sense, they were very different from other women in the area. Other Armenian women, but also other women in general in Iran.